How are we going, guys? Vlog number 5, and it's day 1 of Adelaide APT. We're on our way to go. I'm actually on my way to go to the shops first, and we'll do this chat on the way. Always like picking up water and Voost or Barocca, just in case we feel a bit tired at the tables during the big events. But yeah, Adelaide APT. If you haven't watched the last vlog, it was our semi-deepish or deep run at Stack Social, where we didn't cash as we finished 13th out of enough runners to make it a deep run, but just short of the final table and the money. Played well that night, and using that as confidence for tonight. In tonight's event, we're going to just play the 240 freeze. So it's a freeze out, 240 buy-in, dealer dealt, which is always great because I prefer it dealer dealt. There is a couple of events that we will play, like the main event is not dealer dealt till like final 2 or 3 tables or something like that. But yeah, look, feeling good, feeling confident about the game in saying that. And yeah, I will apologise for the lighting in the car, but we are driving, so there's definitely more things that we need to do other than just talk and have a chat. With that being said as well, the goal for tonight, just play my best, and hopefully it's a late and a long night, which means that we've made it for a few breaks and have gone in and tried to win this tournament. And that's the plan, is every tournament we enter, the ultimate goal is to win them all. We know that can sometimes not be achievable, but I'm just looking for a good series where I played well. In terms about the series content and how we're going to work this series content, we're going to go day by day. So if it is today's day 1, we'll do a vlog for day 1. Day 2, we'll cover all the vlogs that we do tomorrow, which will be the deep freeze that I'm going to max late reg as long as I get there on time. I am working tomorrow. Only time that we want to really make sure we get our work on time is tomorrow night. I don't mind staying back usually, but tomorrow night we'll try and stay back. We try not to stay back and just end on time and make sure we're on our way. Second thing, and more importantly there as well, is that if we don't make the deep freeze, or we reg the deep freeze, max late regging with like 20 bigs and bust, tomorrow will be the main event night where we try to make it through to day 2 of the main. Now, in terms of content, we're going to go day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and separate days and separate events, and I'll always let you know what event. As always, guys, I'm going to try and get this day and day 2 out on Friday before I go and play day 3. With that being said, can we please go and follow the Instagram for live updates? You would have missed day 1 and day 2, but you'll stay up to date with all the big events hopefully happening on day 3 and on day 4, including hopefully a deep run in the high roller, which is going to start on Friday, which I will plan on regging. And yeah, in terms of buy-ins and everything else like that, I'm just going to be pretty up there. I don't want it to be the most expensive series of my life, but I also understand that, we do need to show a bit of coin here. I'm not looking to rebuy in any event apart from selected couple, main events. The high roll, though, I will not be rebuying in. It's 1 bullet of 1-2. It's the whole reason I'm not playing the 2K is because I don't want to play a 2K. I don't have the bankroll for that. But, selected 1K is fine. And yeah, that is all subsequence to change. Like if I was to, for instance, ship the freeze out tonight and it's a bigger prize pool than I expect, that may change. That will also change depending if it comes to Sunday and we not have particularly a good tournament series in terms of cashes. That might change as well, but we'll keep you up to date with that one there. What we are going to do now, go in, get myself some water, some Voost, and then head to the Adelaide Casino, where it's APT day 1. They have the opening event and the 2K currently running, but we're going to jump in the $240 freeze out with a 10K guaranteed prize pool, which should be roughly close to what we played at Stack Social on Sunday night. Pretty good practice. Hopefully we play just as well, but a touch more luck late game, and we do the goods. First break of the of day 1 here of the freeze out, and not too bad here as well. Got in for 40k, obviously start stack already up to 63, blinds are 5-1, or we're about to go up 1 or 2, so about 60 bigs, give or take. Important to note, I did get here on time, and it was a 40-minute wait in order to to reg in. I had a systems error with registration, so me and a lot of players have missed out on regging at the start. But no harm, no foul. Still jumped in with 40 bigs and already made some moves as well. We'll tell you about one hand that we have played as well, very straightforward. But yeah, so we definitely bought, the intention was to buy it on time, and obviously finished, half an hour to 40 minutes until we got into a seat. Important to note as well, at the moment, we just sat all the reserve players as well on tables going like 10-handed, and we are up to like 160, 170 players. So we're going to have like a 30k prize pool for this thing, and we're going to have, give or take, about 20 players getting paid off the top of my head, if we have to work that out right now. So very nice tournament to be in. With that being said as well, we are up to 63k. I had one hand guy try to bluff me off when I made trip nines, but nothing really to speak about there. The hand played itself, and yeah, but the hand of note that we'll give you here is I had king of diamonds and 10 of spades. Actually, not 10 of spades, 10 of clubs in the button. Folds to me on the button, and we have a short stack in the big blind who's been fairly tight from what I've seen right at the end of my orbit that I've been there for and a bit more. And then we had a decent stack in the small blind. Blinds are 5-1 and a 1k ante, and I make it 2.2 on the button. Folds to the big blind. Big blind has just on 10k exactly. I've already got 2.2k invested. He jams with 10k, which is 10 bigs. We've got 10 king 10 off. He could be jamming worse than king 10. He could be jamming queen jack. He could be jamming queen 10 suited and having crushed. He could be jamming low pockets. He could be jamming weak aces. So because of that, we call, and he has ace 3 of hearts. It's a 10 of spades in the window, followed by a queen and a 4. It is then the king of clubs on the turn, followed by a river 4 to pair the board, but gives him nothing, gives me 2 pair, and we have got a nice little pot there. So plans for this next break here as well is to just sit there. My table looks fairly active, but pretty good. I only recognise 1 or 2 players on the table, which is always nice. And hopefully next time we speak, we are on another break. We have a bit more chips, and we are making a run in the freeze. More importantly, mentally feel really good and switched on. Well, guys, I'm in the Navara, and that means we have busteroo. Unfortunately for us, we bust in, I think, about 48th for 49th spot, somewhere around there. Could be inside that, depending on if they were still updating the boards, but top 18 was getting paid 8k in this freeze out for first. That would have been so nice. We'll talk about the hands as well. When we came back from last break, we obviously had 60 odd K, pulled off a nice big bluff, but I'm not going to run into that because it's not really important. I got up to about 80. I then lost a nice sizable pot, which we will talk about now. And then from there, got my short stack game on point. Jam, got my chips in the middle really good. Doubled up a couple times, and then we'll talk about the bust out hand as well. We'll start with the hand that did bring me back down to a starting stack. I was up to about like 80k here, give or take, or about 70. In the end, I had ace 10 off in the cutoff. I raise it up at the blinds being 1 and 2 to 4.5k. I get called from the button and the big blind. The board is the 4 of spades, the 9 of clubs, the 7 of spades. Checks to me. I've got backdoor spades with a 10. I've got some nice cards. I don't want to raise and have the big blind check raise, check jam with his equity. So I decided to check as well. The turn doesn't change much. The turn is the, the turn doesn't change much. It's the 3 of diamonds. Checks to me, and this time I lead for 7k as a C-bet, delayed C-bet. The button calls and the big blind calls, and I'm going, well, okay, I clearly do not have the best hand here. We'll see some rivers, and rivers is the ace of diamonds. Okay, not a bad spot now. I feel like my hand's good. I do feel like, as played, there's going to be a bet from 9x. There's going to be a bet from some missed draws here. So when the big blind checks, the button's been quite active. I plan on check calling a bet, and I check it to her. And she's been very active, and she decides to make it 15k. Folds back to me as the big blind folds. He's the only one that could really have so much of this board. I feel like, as played, she has missed draws. She has maybe a weak ace, like a 2. If she has a weak ace, she might have 2 pair. And that's the hand I expect to lose to, is like a weak ace that's made 2 pair here. Or with that as well, she's had a lot of hands that she's just turning into bluffs that have somehow showed up here on the river, like a weaker 7 or a 7-8 or something like that. She's turning into a bluff. So I call in the end, and she has ace jack off. So she checked, she then floated the turn with ace jack off with no draw, and then bet the river for value, which is pretty sickening. Against this player, I don't think that's how she was thinking. I think she was pretty much just going, oh, I could, on the turn, I think she just spazzed out called, and then decided to bomb the river with the ace, where the big blind has a better range advantage, and I've got all the slow played sets and whatever, but oh well. So that's fine. I made us short. We jammed a few hands, and then eventually got called. We jammed ace queen. Aforementioned player has her favourite hand, she says, and the queen of clubs and the jack of spades. We jam ace queen, and the queen jack of spades, queen of clubs, jack of spades comes along. Board has a queen in the window, runs out the rest dry. We're very happy with that. We double up to our 80k. 50k. We then move back down to 60k. You name it, a couple of jams, we get it in. You know, we're jamming like King 10 suited and stuff like that, and we're getting them through. It's good. And then we can talk about the hand that got us up to the 90k, 100k mark, where a guy jams 10 big blinds. We've got 8 big blinds from late position. We have ace queen yet again off in the big. We call, we as ace 3 suited. Board runs out with a queen in the window yet again. And we love and life. On to the bust out hand. A very good player, or a very good dealer who is becoming a very good player as well, and someone I know quite personally, is sitting in my small blind. So it's a pleasure to have someone that you know on your right hand side, and we talked a bit of smack all night. Folds to him in the small blind, and we have only 10 big blinds effective, and he has about 160 to 180k stack here, covering me by quite a fair margin, and he elects to rip it all in. We have the king of diamonds and the jack of hearts, or no, jack of spades, and we tank for a while. And the reason why we tank is I've been trying not to take marginal spots with my 10 big blind, 15 big blind stacks, trying to find better spots to get money in. But at the same time, knowing this player, knowing that he understands the game, seems on a very high level as a dealer, he can jam a lot worse. In the end, I said that I squeezed. I saw 2 pitches, tried to get a read off him. Don't think there was much of a read there, but I just think my hand's too strong that we just kind of have to go over with 10 bigs. If he had like aces or kings, I don't think he rips. He tries and limps, gets me to jam because he knows I'm capable of that, or he min raises and gets it in. So I don't think we're up against them. I think we could be up against 10s, 9s, 8s that rip it here, and then hands that he's just ripping to put pressure on that he didn't want to raise fold to a jam. With that being said, we read that situation and we call with the king of diamonds and jack of spades. I do believe it was. I didn't have it in my notes as I just busted. We're 10 minutes away from the break, and there's about 50 players left and top 18 getting paid. So if we're about like 25 people left, I would have folded, which we're starting to think of ICM, but being about 50 players left, 40 players left, give or take, as the board was slow to update, I've decided to call. As it so happens, he has the queen of hearts and the 10 of diamonds, and we are ahead, and we have made a very good call. And at the end of the day, whatever happens from this point, we've made the right decision. With the short stack, we've played unbelievably well, and hopefully we just run well. The board's pretty good so far. It's a 9-7-3. I believe it's, there's a heart, diamond, and a club on there, or a spade, one of the two. The turn is a 8 or a board pairing 7, one of the two. Doesn't matter anyway, because he doesn't have any drawers, and we have, just got to avoid 3 queens or 3 10s. Fortunately for us, it is the 10 of diamonds on the river as he has the 10 of hearts, and we get rivered and busted. So yeah, pretty unfortunate. Last vlog we jammed ace queen into ace king, not a mistake of 9 bigs. This one here we have 10 big blinds, and we make a correct call, small blind versus big blind, and we get rivered, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully my mate takes it down because he's been playing really well, and that is a good jam from him for queen 10 to put me all in with 10 bigs. He can't limp, allow me to see a flea flop, and he can't raise fold queen 10. When he raises, he has to call off my jam, so it's better to just rip with queen 10 off there. And yeah, that's poker, c'est la vie, as they say. So tomorrow we have the 600 freeze, which I'm coming straight from work to straight here to try and late reg. Hopefully no technical issues tonight, as I had issues with registration tonight. And then we also have the main event tomorrow night if we bust the deep freeze. Feel good about the game. Big scores coming. Just need to stay positive. And hopefully it comes in the deep freeze, because that's going to be a monstrous tournament. But we will have to spin up a short stack, as we will be max late regging. If you have enjoyed the vlog, give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This will come out probably on Friday. And then from there, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and have a good night.